And when you're ready to share the screen, just go right ahead.
Okay. It's thinking.
That's okay. Take some time. Hello, everyone. Hey, it's Dr. Ariel Policano with geniusbiofeedback.com. And this is a spontaneous live stream. We're talking right now about a training that we're offering every Wednesday at noon Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern. Anyone can join. So if you're interested in the Genius, or if you've just started out with the Genius, you're going to want to tune into this training with our talented Genius practitioners, Andrea Stone 1 week, and then alternating with Mary Sunshine. So Andrea, you're joining us today. How are you?
Hi, Ariel. Doing great. I'm so excited about this Q&A hour. It's a great opportunity for people who are new to the system to ask all the questions they have.
I absolutely agree with you. And I think it'll be fun for people to tune in. So we really want to promote it and help people to remember to put this on your calendar for noon every Wednesday, 3 o'clock Eastern, when you want your basic questions answered. And we'll definitely be sending this out to especially people who have just gotten the Genius and will want to join you and get some of their questions answered. Well, I know you're going to be showing the Genius on your screen in just a moment, and we're going to go through one of the easiest processes for your Genius. So if you're new, and sometimes you're...
Oh, I reclaimed the host because I can't protect my my iPad otherwise.
Oh, okay. So go ahead and just hit when you're ready, you can just hit the recording, but that's fine. I think hopefully we're still live streaming.
We're still live. Okay. That sounds
good. I'm going to see if we're still live streaming. So, anyway, just go ahead and put that on the screen. Maybe let me know next time you're going to do that, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. So you're good. And let's see if we're still live streaming here. I'm gonna see if we're still live streaming. Oh yeah, we totally are. We're live streaming. And so welcome to anybody who's joining us, and thank you. You're going to be in for a treat. We are going to talk about the easiest way to get started with your Genius. The easiest way to get started is to run your session from the general overview. So Andrea, do you want to tell us a little bit about how that would work?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so once you have the voice and the picture, Ariel, I'm not sure we're recording here on Zoom.
You would have to hit record again. So if you can, from your control panel, hit record, and it won't be so, if you can do it, then great. If not, it's not a big deal because it's already on YouTube.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Anyway, so, okay, for those of you who are new to this system, I have to say that it's very intuitive. It's very easy to use. You can basically just do any of your processes in bulk, or you can study each system at its own pace, and there's a lot you can do here. So I have already the voice, I have already the picture here in my tablet. And as you can see, you see the body and its components, mind and components, and biofield and components. So a very easy way to just harmonize anything that's in red or in blue is here through this general overview. So basically all you do is tap once on system overview, and then you get your general overview. Once you're there, there's this plus sign here on the lower left side. And there you can add everything that's red or yellow, green, or blue. So we usually want to harmonize anything that's red and anything that's blue. So basically anything that's acute, anything that's chronic. So I just added all the reds, and now I'm going to add all the blues. And now I had in the main tray hold, now I have everything that got added in bulk. And here is a way that you can set a timer. Like if you have the 30 minutes, or if you're working with someone face to face, this is a great tool to have them relax and take in the frequencies. But just for today, we're just going to do like a minute. The other cool thing about this lever is that if you set it to 0, it will run continuously. So it's great, like for overnight treatments. It's really good. Okay, so I have it now set for 1 minute, and I'm going to. Okay, I set it for 1 minute. So here in Progressive Insights, what do we get? It's a prioritization of everything that's in that main tray hold. So if I hit begin analysis, then it's going to give me a priority. If you take a look here at the top, there's high, medium, and low. I don't know if you can see my cursor moving, but
and let me show you, Andrea, you're doing fantastic. I love your teaching style. Love how you're working with the screen and everything. You're doing absolutely great. Let me show you a little hint. If you tap on or just hover over the bar, the menu bar for Zoom, you should see something that says annotations.
Oh, that's great.
And look for the one that says Spotlight and see if you can click on Spotlight.
I found the recording.
You're fine.
Okay, I have remote control. Oh, participants.
Take your time.
Okay, I see mute, stop, participant chat, Q&A, polls, share. Annotation, right?
Annotation, yeah. Or maybe it says tools.
Tools, Q&A, okay.
If you don't see it, that's okay. You can look for it later, and it says annotation, and it gives you the ability to do a like a mouse, sort of a red spotlight that I sometimes use in class. But for right now, your cursor is present, and we can work on that later. So you can
I've seen you use it. Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, you're doing great. Yeah.
All right. So here, what we'll do is select all the high items. Ariel, do you have a preference? What is your preference here? Like do high and medium? I like to start with high and see what % rectification I get, and then I'll decide if I add anything else.
I almost always exclusively work with, as you're suggesting, the high items, because I feel that they give me the best chance of finding the root cause, and then I'll just do a rescan afterwards. So I like working with the high items. Okay, so as you can see, we're harmonizing only the high items. And there's also the volume in the tablet. That is, I noticed that in your sessions, yours doesn't sound, but it should be okay for now. There's no sound coming through for yours. Oh, okay, perfect. Wonderful. So the other beautiful thing about the Genius Biofeedback is that there's so much training available, and there are some processes that are very easy to use. So what I'll do next is show you one of the basic processes that we have, because landing in that whole system overview, it may be a little bit overwhelming at the beginning. It's just a matter of knowing where to find what. So these basic processes are fantastic. So just as this is working, okay, we got a 28% rectification, but the main goal here is for you to see how easy it is just to harmonize the top items. In this case, we only got a 28%. So I would say we could either do a high again, just play it again. I'm just so that you see how easy it is, I'm just going to select the medium as well, and I'm just going to play it again for a minute. So another great tool that we have available here is the aura analysis, which is fantastic when you have a client and you don't really know in which mood they are or what is happening. So you can get a lot of input from that aura analysis, and I can show you how it's done in just a moment. It's very easy to
it's very easy to do, and it gives you like real-time information about what may be the issue for that person. Just like these basic processes, if you don't have them, we could send them over. There's like 3 basic processes that I really enjoy. One.
And do you know how to share those in the, you're doing great. Do you know how to share them in the chat?
In the chat, wow, look at that. We got a bell, 54%. Okay. So that was really good for harmonizing those items. Now for sharing, I'm gonna need some help. So if I have the file,
what you can do is you'll need probably like if we can get you the PDF, you should be able to attach into the chat. So if you click on participants, or
yes.
no, not that. Click on chat. Click on chat and see that box open, and then click it, the drop down to where it goes from host and participants. Make sure it says everyone.
Host. Okay, I see.
Oh, you did it. Absolutely. You shared it correctly. That's awesome. And I'll also see if I can get you the links. Yep, you did it absolutely correctly. And next time I'll see if I can get you the link. So this is what we would share to our audience here, and anybody watching on YouTube, we'll put the link into YouTube a little bit later. We actually have a question on YouTube, and Kelly has said, how do you select the time?
Oh, the time. Yeah, the time is very easy to select. So you basically have, I'm going to close this.
What I want you to know, actually, Andrea, I want you to know from Progressive Insights, you can actually adjust the time. So let's go back to Progressive Insights for a moment.
Perfect. Yes.
And you do not have to know everything. This is how we all learn.
That's great.
Yeah, in Progressive Insights, you can actually adjust that. And what I would recommend is actually showing it in Progressive Insights rather than the previous screen, just because it'll be easier for people to understand that.
That's wonderful. Thank you for that question.
Yeah, you're absolutely, yeah. I love that you also said that if they take it down to 0, they can run it on infinite loop, and then all they need to do is just plug it into power. So I think that was a great thing to point out as well.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's go to just the main process, the basic assessment number 1 that we have. Actually, let me just go through number 2 because I
please. I don't usually go through number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah. Number 2 is on that sheet that we've just shared in the chat. And also it'll be in the YouTube description. Anybody can have this. You can even email us, Ariel@geniusbiofeedback.com. We share this sheet, which shows you how to put together a process, an order, and select certain things to create an effect. Go for it.
Yeah, thank you. I was just going to say that I like this basic assessment too, because Dr. Ariel gave us a training on Monday, and it has to do with spinal energy. And there was so much that I was not aware of, the interrelationship between the spine and allergies, digestive issues. It was really an interesting session. So if you have not seen that, I fully recommend you take a look. So let's run this basic assessment too. So what I was talking about, the aura, basically I had run this before, so we can run it again. All you need to do is bring up the aura, you tap on that, and then it says begin analysis underneath. So this was a screenshot I got when I first uploaded my voice and my picture. So here we can see that it could be better. There's the colors, there's no symmetry. There could be more symmetry, and the colors could be more like more harmonious. So
and vibrant. And yes, this is typically what we see at the beginning of any session, which is not really bad or good, but it gives us a starting point where the colors are a little bit more dull. They look a little bit more washed out. And typically after the entrainment of frequencies, we see a brightness and more vibrancy to the colors.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've witnessed that too. And it's really interesting. It's just a confirmation that the frequencies were received. So I like that. So in the basic assessment too that I shared, the first item to take a look at is the objective for this assessment is physical issues, pain, and muscle aches. So we're going to go to today's stress. Today's stress is great because it just gives you a fantastic snapshot of what's happening today, what's current for that person. So here you can see that there's a couple of items in red, degeneration and immune and hormonal, brain and environmental. So you can just put everything on the main whole tray, or if there's one topic that you want to work with, you can always use the quick zap here up here. So for today, I'm just going to use the main whole tray, and I've added all of those items in there already. So I'm getting out of there and I'm going to spinal energy. And I'm curious to see what this is going to show for me. Okay, yeah. TH7, 9. Yeah, it's, I noticed that a lot of these items come up when I'm sitting in front of the computer for a long time. So we're going to add sacrum, TH10, TH9, and TH7. This may be also because I have been stretching a lot during yoga. Anyway, so spinal energy.
That's fantastic. And Andrea, I would be luxurious with the time that you spend on any screen. You're not boring anyone or anything. So you can really take the time to showcase the screen, even though it's just one in the process. Again, like this is all, you're doing fantastic. But let's go back to spinal energy because
Yes.
there's something in there that's really helpful that even as you were choosing the reds and blues, I could see could be helpful. And I know you know about it, but let's showcase it when we
Yes.
show spinal energy, which would be, just go ahead and tap on spinal energy. Yeah. And let's tap that high to low at the top.
Yes.
And I love this high to low because now it would have been much easier for you to grab those reds and blues. Now, you know about this toggle of high to low, right?
I actually didn't. I learned something new. Thank you.
But it's very helpful because, well, I'm glad that we were able to point it out, but it's so much easier. If you tap it one more time, you go back to the original, it becomes cumbersome. The reason the developer wants to showcase this is he wants it to look at as if somebody were looking at the spine, the original one. Let's just toggle back just to the high to low just for a moment, just linger there just for a second. And so the developer wanted us to see it as if it were stacked up like a chiropractor. Somebody might look at it. Oh, let me look down the spine and go ahead and scroll down a little bit more so we can see the thoracics and the lumbar. And so somebody could look at this visually and they could be like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe the thoracics are out and the sacrum is compromising. And so they see it in a stacked version. But for a biofeedback practitioner, it's so much easier. We're looking for those highs and lows so that we can look immediately and sort of get a sense of what the highs and lows are. So let's tap on that high and low one more time. And a good thing is to just bring that cursor over to where you're, and just say, hey, I'm going to tap on this. And this all comes with time. It's so awesome. And so, and let's just show the high reds again.
Yeah, so they would be here at the top. And
were you saying that when you sit for a while that your sacrum often goes out?
Yes. I feel that with the thoracic, I've been doing a lot of stretches, but every time that I'm sitting in front of the computer, like the coccyx sacrum, they are either like red most of the time.
Excellent. I mean, not excellent for the sacrum, but excellent just to be able to make such a great observation. So now I turn the floor back to you and let's continue with basic process number 2.
I have a question for you, Ariel.
Yes,
Here-
please. Yes, of course.
Okay, here on today's stress, look at this acid. Acid is 116. Technically, anything that's below 200, I could put in, and I remember you talking about acidic environments. So I think I'm just going to put this in the main tray hole too.
Never hesitate to do that. Anything is fair game. You will find very significant items anywhere in the sort of the 200-ish range, even the 207, the 125, the 116. Those are all, I really think they should always be included. It's optional for the practitioner. The developer historically took the number down just so people didn't get overwhelmed seeing so many items in red and so many items in blue. But truly between under 200 and over 600, you will find helpful items in that range.
That sounds fantastic. Great. Okay, so I'm adding this. It was blood sugar. Now we're going to take a look at the neurotransmitters. They're right here. And it's interesting because I'm just going to back for a second. It's great to go through each one of these panels because it may show green, but once you go in there, you may find some interesting things. So I'm just going to go back again. Okay, so here you can see there's oxytocin, histamine, glutamate, GABA, and epinephrine. So do you have any comments about this, Ariel?
Oxytocin, histamine, glutamate, GABA, epinephrine. They're not necessarily related, although what's interesting is GABA and glutamate are kind of opposite neurotransmitters, whereas glutamate kind of excites the brain, and you know, the monosodium glutamate and some of there's glutamate implications of people who drink diet soft drinks. It creates like a glutamate, almost like a speeding up feeling in the brain. And then the GABA does the opposite, where it kind of slows the brain down. And there has to be a balance between glutamate and GABA. Neither one is really good or bad. So that's interesting that it's that they're both coming up, that it needs to be balanced. And then we see oxytocin is like a relaxing hormone, and histamine is something that would come up for like food allergies, if there's active reaction to food allergies. But, you know, I was just rereading the book, Your Body's Many Cries for Water. Remember this book by Dr. Batmanji? If you've never read it, it's a wonderful, wonderful book. And because it gets into, sometimes I love to dive into the most basic concepts. And I literally was just reading this section that tells us that when we don't drink enough, we're actually setting ourselves to activate the production of more histamine. So just not drinking enough water could trigger off that appearance of the histamine being reactive or red and blue.
That is very interesting. Yeah, it sounds like no matter how much water you drink, and here's my daily dose, but I do things like I go to hot yoga, or you garden a little bit, and it's always a good idea to drink more water, make sure that you're hydrated.
Yeah, and we were just, you know, a quote that we put on Instagram was just really about this, that water is not just for the chemicals of the water or even the hydration effect in and of itself, is that water, when it hits the cell membrane, because of osmotic forces, it generates hydroelectric energy. So literally the water that you're putting in your body is sort of conferring an energetic flow and facilitating the production of energy in your body.
That's fantastic. Definitely a great recommendation, that book you mentioned. Okay, so in our basic assessment too, the next item to take a look at is brain anatomy. And okay, so here I have to say this panel here, it's a little bit intimidating to me because I don't really know what to do with it except just like place anything red or blue in the tray. But what can we infer here from what we see?
Well, remember, as a biofeedback practitioner, the only thing that you're really required, or the charge or requirement of a biofeedback practitioner, is simply to put the reds and the blues into the tray. So even a neurologist would probably have a hard time really making a very significant interpretation of what we're seeing right now in brain anatomy. So the best thing here is just take that cortex, brainstem, frontal lobe, and go ahead and put it into the tray and balance it for overall brain balancing.
Yep. Perfect. The next item is digestion. And that's one of my favorite panels because it's very
it's the second one from the top. You're doing good.
Yeah.
From the bottom. It's the second one from the bottom right there after minerals.
Yes, thank you. Okay. So here we have esophagus, gallbladder, small intestine. So we're putting all of that into the tray. And the next item, nausea. The nausea.
I can talk about the nausea for you.
Yes, please.
Well. Absolutely. You know, the nausea, there are some practitioners that start with the nausea all the time because they find them to be so powerful. The nausea you can get a real great quick reference to the nausea within those desk reference success cards. And Andrea, you may want to have them, have them with you and show them in class, and also just direct people where they are on the website if they ever want to get them. So the nausea are frequencies that were noted by Dr. Paul Nogier that represent the return to organized, coherent systems. So when you play the note similar to a tuning fork, that system comes into balance again. It comes into alignment. So they're powerful, harmonizing energies that can help you on a physical level based on certain systems that Nogier found were interconnected. And they're interconnected because they grew out of the embryonic experience in 3 different systems called the ectoderm, the endoderm, and the mesoderm. And so if you look at, for example, Nogier E, these in Nogier E it is all going to be affected by this frequency, 4,672, which is specifically for the nervous system, for spinal and skin disorders, for arthritis, for pain reduction. Anything within that wheelhouse will be affected by Nogier E. So we can pull Nogier E, very good, into the tray. And then Nogier A, the one above it, is for all of these systems that are combined. The system will affect any of these systems: skin, eyes, teeth, ears, spine, wound healing, scar tissue, and nerve repair. It is also connected to the eyes and just having energy overall, and it's 292 hertz. Nogier L was a more recent addition, and it helps to balance the left and right brain. Now, you can actually take every single Nogier, we won't do it now, but you could put it into the quick zap, every single Nogier, and imprint it into water and create a total system tune-up for yourself. And it's a wonderful and powerful combination of frequencies when you use them all together.
That is fantastic. Yeah, imprinting items where you can set your water. It's a really interesting, good process. I feel that the water can carry all those messages we want to send to our body to the smallest places. So here we go with our water once again.
The water is so impressionable and will carry the message. So using the genius for that purpose is just so fun because there's so many different things that you could imprint into the water and then drink the water throughout the day.
Right. So Ariel, I think for this basic assessment too, we have a little bit of a theme here with brain function. Like balance, left, right brain, and then we have the nervous system, and then with A the same. So it's really interesting to connect the dots and to go after the root cause of whatever you want to address in your body.
Well, you're seeing for this particular scan, you're seeing the nervous system, brain sort of emerge as being the top priority item, which is a great observation.
Yeah. Excellent. So now we're going to the flower essences. Okay, and here we have, it's interesting to me that sometimes you get like 10 red and 10 blue, but this time we only got 2. So we have, and I can't say enough how easy this reference guide is. It's really, you have everything at your fingertips. So this wild oats, uncertainty over the direction of someone's life. I think that we all have had that once in a while, at least once. The honeysuckle about living in the past. That's also something that's definitely going to the tray. And let's see, and then we have heather at the bottom. So we'll add heather as well. And heather is an invitation to connect with community and with a higher power. So that can definitely go into the tray too. So
now I want to point out one thing, Andrea, and it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. But one thing we didn't do before we started basic process number 2 is we did not empty out the main whole tray. Now we don't need to do it or redo the process, but just remember that actually, if you did basic process number 2 and you still had items in the main whole tray, there's also no downside. Like you can't really do it wrong. But if you did specifically only want to have those items, I just want to show everybody watching how to actually empty the tray, even though we won't actually do it. Keep all those items in the tray. I think it's good.
Yeah. So basically what you do, it's super easy too. So all you do is open the tray and there's this item that says clear. You can't see it that much. Okay, now clear all. So if I were to press there, then everything would go away.
That's correct.
Right.
Good. And then we just close, and we can close down the tray, which is, and just show people how to open and close the tray.
Yeah. So this lever that goes up is like a little arrow. All you need to do is tap in there and you can close it by tapping again. So, okay. So we can maybe run these frequencies again. Now we have 208 items down here. So, there's one thing I want to add. After you started talking about the toroid in sacred geometry, I thought that was the most interesting thing. Maybe you can just say a couple of things about the toroid. Ever since you showed that other device and you said that our bodies can absorb the frequencies much easier, just enabled by these sacred geometries.
Yeah, we even have we can pull this other broadcaster out in just a moment. So the toroidal field is a natural field in the human body that surrounds the heart. And it is a more powerful electrical field than the brain itself. It's a bigger field and more powerful. So we can produce and manifest so much from our heart. Our heart is even so much more significant in some ways than our brain is. And that field that generates that energy is called the toroidal field. And the toroid itself sort of has a donut shape to it, as we see here. And this is a broadcaster that can be connected through a wire and then broadcast out from your genius. So it will produce this toroidal energy from this particular broadcaster. And the toroids are really powerful. So if you want to manifest something, if you want to change something, transform it, place the toroids maybe in the quick zap or include it with your balancing process. It's just that sometimes it might not come up as a high item in the main whole tray. So you just have to be aware of that. Or you can just put a few items, say that toroids, you can combine it with flower essences or nogiers or something else.
Perfect. Okay. And that would be, it sounds like that would be a great candidate here for the quick zap. Like if I were to say, I were to put the toroids and the flower essences. Yeah. So, okay. So the next step, just to finish the basic assessment, number 2, would be to go back again to progressive insights, where we're going to get prioritization
Correct.
of the items that are the highest priority. And now we got, so we got liver, pituitary, mind, gallbladder. Yeah, we have seen some of these items. So I'm going to pick again the highs, and I'm going to play this for just a minute and see what results we get. And Ariel, when I look at all the basic assessments, the flower essences seem to be so critical to each process. They contain a lot of information, right?
Well, the flower essences are really important, because everything that we would manifest physically, that we would want to work through, has an emotional component to it. Rather than even just going to the emotions panel, going to the flower essence is sort of, there are two things that are together. It's like describing the blockage that the person is experiencing, but it's also wrapped up in it is actually the solution, the ability to move through the issue. The catalyst to be able to do that is in the energy or the frequency of the flower essence itself. So putting flower essences in there, that frequency encoded information, is so empowering to people, as well as giving them the lesson, the issue that they're really trying to work through.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, so we run these frequencies for a minute, and we got a percent rectification of 50%. And that was only with the high items. So would it be okay, Ariel, if I show one of my favorite things? I don't think I've shared this with you.
Please do. Yeah.
But if you go to libraries, and just, no, I was going to do a quick balance, but there's something that I totally like in this. There's these success affirmations in your libraries that are amazing.
Oh, is it the breakthrough to success?
Yes, I just think that it's so great adding affirmations.
I totally agree with you.
To these frequencies. So success. Maybe we can do this.
No, you're right there. Oh yeah, perfect. You got it.
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah, you got it.
Because there's a few, but here I like this breakthrough to success 3 supercharged affirmations. Those are very revealing. Every time that I run this panel for clients, there's always something enlightening. Wow, look at this. Gamma waves of inspiration fill my mind to produce ideas. I love that. So all you have to do with these affirmations is just put them in the tray. You can put them on the Quicks app or on the tray. So it's very easy, but this gives you such a nice view of what's happening emotionally.
Totally.
And
things that you're working towards. Yeah.
Exactly. And then if you combine everything, like all your insight from your physical self, the emotions, the spiritual side, we have a whole 360 view.
I love it. And and include the blue ones as well.
Yeah. These are great. Success. And then let's see what we have in blue. Chapter, the most.
I love that one. I'm ready for the most exhilarating and positive chapter in my life, and collect the courage to make it so. That sounds right on point for you, Andrea.
Yes, you know me. I'm richly talented in multi-dimensional ways. Okay, so we can add this. Okay, so I just added a few. It's just fascinating, the beauty of biofeedback. Once you have the libraries and that you're running them, you never know what's going to come up, and you can get so many hints from an emotional or body perspective. And I just love also the ability to take control of my health. And even if I go to the chiropractor, I can say, hey, look at this. I've been sitting too much. Can you please help me here, here, and here? It really, you really get a lot of control over your well-being with a tool.
I love that. That's so great.
Yeah. So, okay. So we run it. We already run it. I can do it once again with the new affirmations. Let's see if any of those affirmations takes a high priority. No, it went to Nogier.
But you can scroll down and you may see more high items. So let's scroll down a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's right. Let me see. Chemical.
There's an affirmation. It says, radiant light fills my being.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Peppermint. That is fantastic. Frankincense. I love that essential oil is just it's so interesting how you can combine actual physical oils versus using the genius.
Exactly, using the frequencies and using physical pieces as well.
And look, there it is. I'm ready for the most exhilarating and positive chapter. Okay, so let's, we can just balance the highs again.
Sure.
And then we can maybe go over other components of the system.
Anything that you'd like to look at. We do have people in the YouTube chat. We don't have anybody joining us in the live class today, but we hope to have more. So if you go to geniusbiofeedback.com and you go to the events page, you can sign up for this class, which is free every Wednesday at 12 o'clock Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern, hosted by our very talented practitioners, Andrea Stone and Mary Sunshine, who will be running the class hosting the class next week. So every single week you have an opportunity to drop in for Q&A, anything that's you're not sure about, that you need more clarification, or to see Andrea or Mary show a basic process. You can ask for any feature, anything on the Genius to be shown. We do hope that this class picks up some traction, because there's a real need for people with lots of questions about the Genius that I think, a live class will really serve very, very well. A little bit of trivia, a trivia question for you, Andrea, which you may know the answer to, but okay, either way, is what is, when it says surround and protect, what does the FTHG stand for?
For the higher good.
Now you are really very, very well versed in the Genius, if you know that. So congratulations, you're absolutely correct.
I asked my friend Heike and she told me.
Oh, that's good for Heike, that she knew it. That's great.
Yes, but that's so great. That's another aspect that I enjoy about the Genius. The community is fantastic. And whenever you have a question, you can reach out to anyone in the community. Ariel is always available, and Benet, it's just really a fantastic team. Okay,
Thank you so much, Andrea.
Yes, of course. After adding the affirmations, we were at 50% rectification, and now we have a 62. So we can tell that the affirmations were value add for this session.
I think so too. You're right, because first we just went to 60% rectification. Here we had a much higher rectification. Why don't you see what effect it had on the aura?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So let's see. It is interesting this time around, the aura was blue. So, wow, look at that.
That's interesting. Entrainment of all of the frequencies into the, we use the toroidal field. I don't know if it took, but would be related to the heart. So it's interesting thinking about the toroidal field. we don't always just need the genius on its own. You know, a lot of our thoughts are very, very powerful, and many of them are broadcast through the genius. As we run the frequencies, our intention is also broadcast out. So when you know, you have a moment sometime, you can run a few frequencies, but also enhance the transmission with your intention and see if there's a difference in the change in the aura when you're sort of using the power of your thoughts as well as the genius frequencies.
Absolutely. And this is exactly what I wanted to see. I wanted to see more symmetry between left and right. And I wanted to see more colors that are in more harmony. And we got a lot of green here, heart chakra, a little bit of blue here underneath. But I think that's most of the aura scans that I run, they're much lighter up here than down
Absolutely.
here.
Yeah. And that may be because of sort of maybe even subconscious blockages that still need to be cleared.
Absolutely.
Why don't you, do you know, and I could teach you now as well, how to show the before and after. And you may not have saved it. Do you know how to save it to screenshot it and save it in your photos so you can show the before and after?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
perfect.
I just did this one, but I didn't take the other.
Oh, the screenshot didn't get taken in the first one.
But basically, I mean, like you could, like from here, you can email it, like down here, you can email it to your client or to yourself, and you can print it here. But if you just want to do it from your tablet, just go to photos, and there you have, wow.
Was that the first one though?
This was not the first one.
Okay, that was a different one.
It's a different one. But yeah, the colors in the other one, it was 3 different colors, and there was a line and some sort of bubble. So now we can see, we can really see that the effect was very positive.
I love it.
Yeah. The other very cool feature here is that once you have like this magic formula, you can share it through a capsule, or you can send it to yourself, and that way you can continue benefiting from the frequencies, from that theme that you discovered during that scan. So that's something else I feel that is very easy to do.
Very good. I love it.
Yeah. Do we have, I don't suppose we have any other questions from YouTube?
I don't think, let me see if we can get the live chat going here. We don't have any, thank you for everybody who's been commenting in the live chat, and we don't have any more at this time. In fact, we could kind of wrap things up for today, Andrea. Just sort of summarize maybe some of your thoughts just about the genius in general, anything you want people to know, or just inviting people back to come to work with you every other week. So just give us any comments or ideas about the genius you'd like to share.
Absolutely. So with respect to this hour, this Q&A, it would be great to have people join us so that we can answer questions and answers. But I'm very interested to see how people are using the genius, what results are they getting, how just stories about how you got to the root cause of an issue. So that would be very interesting. And I have to say that with Mary has so much experience. She's very talented. She has multiple practices, with reflexology being one of them. So she's going to be amazing as well. And in terms of what we did today, just a reminder of what we did. We went to system overview, then we went to the general overview. I showed you how to do a bulk import of red and blue items into the tray. And then we went through the basic assessment, number 2, that took into consideration the spinal energy. And we also showed you the beginning aura, the ending aura. And we even, Ariel got some trivia in as well. So it was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Andrea, you did absolutely fantastic today. I'm really excited to see what you're going to be doing in your Q&A in 2 weeks, but anybody can join in any weekly at 12 o'clock Pacific time on Wednesdays, and 3 o'clock, which would be the Eastern time. We'll be back here that time next week. Andrea, thank you. You did a fabulous, amazing job. Thank you so much for being part of our Genius community. You're so wonderful. I appreciate you.
My pleasure, Ariel. Thank you.
And we'll say goodbye to everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And to find out more about the Genius, go to geniusbiofeedback.com and send us a message. Thanks again, everyone.